Okay, so this is a two-part, experiment that we are going to do. Two experiments together we will be doing one after the other. So here we were going to see how to take manual proofs with pastings and gravure liquid inks. Okay. Now, what is the concept of proof taking that you already know? I have taught you in the PPRT class. Now, there are various properties of the ink that is to be tested both at the ink manufacturer's end as well as in the printer's end. So, what kind of information can we derive from a print, manual print, or a proof print of a particular ink? Whether the shade of the ink is correct or not, whether the strength, tinctorial strength of the ink is correct or not. What is the color difference between batches of the ink and the standard ink? Whether there are any other visible like density, optical density of the ink is correct or not. What is the rub resistance of the ink on a particular piece of paper? Okay, so these are various. What is the scuff resistance of a ink and coated ink on a piece of paper? So for various of these purposes, we normally what we do, we take proofs. We say that is manual ink proofing. So we will start our experiment today with the help of the manual ink proofing for pastings. All right. So let us take a look. So the aim of the experiment is to take manual ink proofs for using pasting basically, right? So let us talk a little bit about the theory part. Now see, this is for a pasting, that means offset purpose. The shade of any ink depends upon the ink film thickness. The printer should get the desired intensity of shade by printing with the right ink film thickness. If the shade becomes lighter, it will indicate that ink is weak in color strength. So for a same strength, for a same ink film thickness, if the color strength becomes lighter or darker, that means color strength becomes lighter, that means then the color strength of the ink is lower, right? In other words, there is less pigment. The printer will have to then release more ink to get the particular shade, which might create problem of ink and water balance, sticking, offsetting, filling in of halftones, slow drying, transfer of ink from one unit to the other in multicolor printing machines, and poor trapping. Poor trapping means how the one ink, that is offset, is essentially wet on wet printing, right? So how one wet surface of ink is trapping or falling onto the adhering onto the previous wet ink surface. So if you're printing with bicolor machine, cyan magenta, first unit is cyan and magenta second unit, then how well the magenta ink is trapped by the cyan ink after the both the colors have been printed on the paper. The ink proofing kit will transfer the same thickness of ink on the substrate as that of the machine printing. Therefore, the ink shade obtained by proofing kit will be same as the shade obtained by machine printing. This device is designed to proof only pastings which are used in offset and letterpress printing process. Thickness of the ink film depends upon process of printing, that is offset and letterpress, and type of substrate, whether coated and uncoated. The uh, film thickness by letterpress is double that of offset, and on uncoated substrate more ink has to be released than on coated. Normally, we can say very safely that ink film thickness for offset is nearly 2 to 5 microns. For gravure, it is little bit higher, 10-15 micron like that. For other processes, screen and all, film thickness is greater than 20. It can be greater than 20 microns also. Okay. So now, what are the other uses of the ink proofing kit? A proof can be quickly taken for getting customers approval. Whether I am offering the particular shade of color that the customer is wanting. So that can be done. Second, many a time printer will have to mix special shades from the ink they have in stock. In such cases, machine time need not be wasted for proofing. So for example, this is what they're saying is about the spot color actually. So we know that your process colors are cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, but there are certain brand specific colors which cannot be achieved only by cyan, magenta, yellow, black printing. So in that case, you have to mix different ink concentrates to create a spot color or a specific color. So in that case, if I go on mixing on colors and printing it on a machine, then there is a waste of so much resources, machine time, manpower, ink, paper, consumables, all this huge wastage. So what we do, we mix the colors in small batches, try it out by taking prints in this proofing kit, using this proofing kit. Once the proof is matching with the master print, then we go make big batch of the ink and go for final printing into the machine. Okay. Now, the most important components in the printing process are paper and ink. Compared to paper, ink is a very small item, but it has the greatest qualitative impact on the final product and also on productivity and profitability. Though reputed ink makers test the ink thoroughly before releasing them for delivery, it is most essential for the printers to make sure that the ink is on right one for the job and stock. Any unsuitable ink can result in spoiled jobs and huge losses. Ink proofing kit is a device consisting of user-friendly components and which simulates the actual machine condition. That is, amount of ink here is fixed. Roller, that means metering of ink is done properly. Therefore, the print taken from the proofing kit exactly matches with the machine proof. However, before commencing printing, the printer would like to know whether that it dries well on the stock that is being printed. If any special properties have been specified, the printing ink is capable of giving those properties to the ink. Whether the ink changes color after drying. So there are, yes, this is what, there are some shades of reflex blue which after those pigments, after they dry, they get oxidized, so they tend to change its color. So it's a very tricky thing to do, tricky shades to match actually. If the ink is to be printed on color stock or to be overprinted on another ink, what the end result will be like, and that the ink dries well without chalking or other problem which may result in rejection. Or chalking means when you are printing solid patches of job, then uh, maybe there is no set off, but when you rub the surface of the ink, that solid printed ink, then some of the ink comes as a uh, dry form. That means the pigment is coming off. So that is chalking. Now, based on this information, you have to fill in the what is the what is the shore hardness of roller. All these things I have already told you. Okay. So material using for manufacture of rollers, the guidelines of using ink. This question number 3. This question you need not you did not answer in this class, because this I have not taught. This is actually part of the ink, which is in our next semester. So this question you may leave out. If you can find some on your own, that is fine, but otherwise you may leave this out. Okay. Next. Now we are talking about the procedure. So what I will do is I will not go into this detailed procedure, but they have given a picture or something. So this is a very nice thing. This is the actual thing. So what happens? Let this come actually. Okay, so this is basically you can see the picture of the proofing kit. So what happens? I will not talk a whole lot of all these things, the procedure and all. So I'll just show you the simulation. So this is the knife. Knife is required to smash the ink. When you take out the ink fresh from the container, that needs to be smashed with the help of this knife. Why? Because it has developed, because it is thixotropic in nature, it will develop that kind of a thixotropic body. In order to break it and ensure even metering of the ink, that is why we use a knife to smash the ink nicely. This is the inkometer and this is basically the plunger. Okay. So what happens is you rub amount of, there are two holes in this inkometer. Okay. One big hole, one small hole. So ink will be released from these holes, will be first applied between these two holes on top of this holes, and it will be pushed by this plunger from the inkometer into this particular glass slab. Once this specific quantity, that means your volume of ink is fixed, because only a certain specific volume of your ink will go through the small hole and the larger hole. Now, so volume is fixed. So different processes, as you can see, that smooth and coated papers, one big hole is sufficient for offset, while 3 small holes is required in letterpress, because the amount of ink released in letterpress is high, ink film thickness is high, right? For rough duplex map litho papers, one big, one small hole is sufficient volume of ink to be tested for offset, and 3 big holes for letterpress. Now, once the ink has been dropped onto this glass slab, you use this roller to smash it nicely, to meter it nicely, and then once it is completely metered, you rub down or roll down this roller on top of the sheet of paper. So let us take a look how it actually it takes place. Okay, with the help of the simulation that we have. Okay, so let us start. Yeah. So what is the apparatus? One knife is required, that is spatula. One inkometer. Inkometer, I mean, uh, normally inkometer we call the, the reason I left out, I told you to leave out that inkometer question on inkometer is because inkometer is the instrument which is used for the actual use of the word inkometer is instrument which is used for measuring the tack of the ink, but here in a different sense they have used the term inkometer. Okay, so inkometer, plunger, roller, sheet of paper which you want to draw on, and ink, definitely ink. This is the apparatus. Now first let us pour some ink on the glass slab, and then we need to smash this particular ink with the help of the spatula. Okay, so let us smash the ink with the help of the spatula. Yeah, the ink is smashed now. To just to break down that this thing, your um, quantity, I mean the thixotropic nature of the ink. Yes, so once it is smashed, then what we will do, we will pick up some amount of ink using the spatula, and then apply it on this inkometer basically, right, on top of the big and the small hole as is required for our printing process. Then what we have to do, we have to take the plunger and force the ink out of the hole and place it on top of the, see, we are forcing the ink out of the inkometer with the help of the plunger, and hence the specific volume of ink is falling on the glass slab. Next, using the roller, what we have to do is we have to spread the ink nicely on top of the glass slab. We have to roll the ink or meter the ink as you can see, so that a uniform layer of the ink is obtained onto the top of the roller surface. And then once this is done, what we will do, we will simply press down the roller on top of the sheet, and thereby creating uniform ink pattern on the sheet, and therefore there we will be assessing the the quality of the ink, the different quality that we talked about in the theoretical part for examination and assessment purpose. Okay, so this is the entire process. So based on this, there are certain questions that are available in the post test segment, so you have to answer these questions, and finally you have to also write down the references. Some other IS references are given. Okay, so this you have to do, right? Now, like in the previous experiment, we saw that how we can take proofs, manual proof, with the help of the proofer in pasting for letterpress and offset applications. In this experiment, we will do what we will do is we will take prints, manual prints using the manual ink proofing kit of the gravure inks, right? Liquid ink, that is. So let us talk a little bit about it. The purpose is almost the same, but let us talk a little bit about it. Now, what does it contain? It consists of the basic difference. You know what? Basic difference is there are some, in case of the offset printing, there were some rollers, rubber rollers. Ultimately, rubber rollers are transferring the ink onto the plate and finally onto the blanket and paper. But in this case, gravure ink, as you know, that the ink is transferred directly from the gravure cylinder directly onto the substrate. Now, gravure cylinder, as you know, definitely contains some recessed cell where ink actually enters, and from which, due to capillary forces, excess amount of ink gets transferred into the certain amount of ink gets transferred onto the substrate. So here also we will transfer the ink using a bar coater. That means some threads are etched on top of a on the surface of a bar, circular bar. Okay, and we will take a certain amount of ink, light on top of the polymeric substrate on which we want to take the print, and then every barcoder has some given number of thread etched on top of it. Okay, so lower the thread count on the barcoder, greater volume of ink will be transferred, and higher the thread count on the barcoder, lesser amount of ink will be deposited. Okay, so we will simply draw down the barcoder and we will get the print. So let us see. It consists of rubber pad with bakelite base and barcoders from 0 to 8 numbers, giving metered application weight. Barcoders have been used for many years in laboratory for testing surface coating materials like inks, adhesive emulsion, and dry bond paints, hot metal coatings, waxes, resins, glues, nail varnishes, etc. These coating rods lay down a definite predetermined metered coating in a matter of seconds. That is what I told. Threads are different. Stainless steel construction affords corrosion resistance, durability, and easy cleanup. Barcoders are very flexible in construction and application parameters as well. This system is very simple to use and requires little space. These barcoders are numbered and fitted with different colored handles for easy identification. And numbers are written also on the handle of the barcoders. Rubber pad is made of synthetic rubber of controlled hardness and metal clip to hold substrate in position. Drawdowns may be made on many substrates including paint, test charts, plastic films, aluminum foils, asbestos sheets, steel plates, paper and paperboards, etc. Side by side drawdowns of two or more products give quick comparison of various types of shade, opacity, adhesive, flexibility, heat and light fastness, etc. Barcodes are available with wet ink film deposit from 4 to 100 microns. Now regarding barcodes and their use are given over here already, you can see from here. Now calculation of weight deposit. 1 micron weight film corresponds to 1 gram of wet material per square meter, assuming specific gravity is 1. For example, barcode number 2 deposits 12 gram of material per square meter if specific gravity is 1, or 18 gram of material per square meter if specific gravity is 1.5. Also, measure the density of an ink film with the help of a densitometer and color value with the help of a spectrophotometer. Now, regarding the theoretical part, that is exactly similar to the last offset technique only. So based on this, we will be able to answer these pre-test questions. Now let us go to the procedure. So let us show if they, let us take a look if they have given a picture or not. See, as I told you, these threads are etched onto the barcoder basically. Okay, so each thread, between these threads actually there are some valleys. So within these valleys ink will be contained. Now naturally we will understand that the lower the thread count, distance between two consecutive threads will be larger. That means greater quantity of ink will be stored between them, hence greater quantity of ink will be transferred onto the substrate, and the reverse is true. Now let us take a look at the, so here they have given, so here barcode number 1, barcode number 0 deposits lower ink film thickness, right? That means thread count is high. And barcode number 8 with a high thread count, that deposits greater quantity. Barcode number 8 which is having lower this thread count, that is depositing greater quantity of ink film thickness. And barcode number 0 which is having higher thread count is depositing lower wet film basically. Okay, so without further ado, let us take a look at the simulation only. So these are different color coded barcoders that are present over here, and this is the ink actually. Okay, after everything has been done, you need to clean the barcoders with the help of the cleaning solvent, and you need to drop a certain amount of liquid ink with the help of a dropper on the top, and then put the barcoder there and draw down from the top to bottom of the sample paper. So label the name. So here we are, what we are doing is we are placing a particular, with the help of the this a pencil, we write the name of the ink that we are going to draw, and then we are placing the barcoder on top position. Then we will put the ink with the help of the dropper in this region. Yes, with the help of the dropper we will put the ink in the top region, right? And then we will draw down from the top. Yes, so this is how we get the final print actually. Okay, so the final color of ink by simulating the inverted pyramid cell of gravure image carrier in the form of barcoded on a given substrate would appear like the shown experiment. So depending, this is the experiment, very simple experiment. Depending on this information, you have to fill in the post-test answers and also write down the references, IS methods which have been used to conduct this particular experiment. Okay, thank you.